Welcome to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. They've got a busy slate, so Skip, Shannon, let's get to it.
Good morning. Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp. Good morning.
Hi, Jenny.
Hey.
What?
The claw.
Don't do that.
Claw.
Oh, you proud of he?
See the claw?
Oh.
Kim's last three?
Figured he'd notice
Clawed him.
that.
Did you see that performance in the fourth quarter in overtime?
Oh, it was Kawhi Town last night.
No, it was Lou Williams time.
Kawhi Town.
It was Lou time.
Yeah.
What time is it? Lou time.
Yeah, I thought it was actually Patrick Beverly.
Don't do that.
That's a whole nother.
Oh.
All I know is that was the best defense I've seen played at Staples Center all year.
Ooh. I saw you tweet that. I saw you tweet it, Skip,
about
but
that
I
offense?
figured you would notice.
What about that offense?
They don't need offense.
The best player.
All defense.
The best player on the planet did not take a starring role in his own movie.
Defense wins championships.
Oh, my goodness.
This show is loaded today.
Yep.
So how
Here we go.
impressive were Kawhi and Paul George in their first game together? And is Tom Brady really a great leader? But first, we will start with Ezekiel Elliott. Skip's Cowboys are certainly hoping Zeke gets a chance to eat against the Patriots this weekend after tallying less than 50 yards in back-to-back games. Elliott was asked yesterday if he was frustrated by his lack of production in the running game, and he was quick to defend himself as a team player. Take a listen.
I think if you have a problem keeping your spirits up when we win a football game, that game we played last Sunday, you win a football game, you're excited, you're happy. All the other stuff will handle itself. I always said accolades, all the other stuff, it's not important. What's important is winning football games, and you win football games, it'll handle itself. That's what a good teammate does. I kind of feel you guys make me feel awkward. Like I'm supposed to be pissed because I have 40 yards and we won a football game. So, I don't know. I don't really want to get into it anymore.
All right, Shannon, did you like Zeke's response?
I loved it. I applaud him. And that's what he should have said. I think the thing is that Zeke is going to find out what I knew to be true, and I had to find out myself too. Wins are only important to the quarterback. Now, Tom Brady said the exact same thing yesterday. His job as a quarterback is to find a way to somehow win a ball game. Throw for 400, throw for 300, 175. At the end of the day, you win. It's only running backs, receivers. They win a game, don't put up the numbers. Odell Beckham, I give you a prime example. Odell can have 60 yards. They win a game. What's wrong with Odell? Why didn't he have 150? Zeke Elliott, they won a game. Well, he got 50 million. He kind of shut it down. He's not the same Zeke. He wins. They lose. They take that back. They lose. Odell gets 175. All he cares about is stats. Zeke, they lose. He gets 155. All he cares about is stat. He's a bad teammate. Man, they won the game. He's like, man, y'all make me feel bad. We won the game, and y'all in here talking about I only had 40 yards. Would y'all have said if I'd had 200 and we lost, would you have said, Zeke, you only had 200 yards? At the end of the day, I thought it was about wins and losses. Clearly, that's not the case. They're trying to rile something up, and I'm glad Zeke handled it the way he did. He's like, guys, we won the game. I'm supposed to be ticked off. As a competitor, you always want to feel you contributed. I've been there. There have been times I've had 2 catches for 25 yards and we won. There have been times I had over 100 yards and we lost. You always go back, what could I have done to help us win? And what could I have done to help us win by more? That goes through your mind. That's just how the way you're wired as a competitor. But at the end of the day, Skip, this is about wins and losses. And they're winning right now. And he's not hurting the team. Yeah, he fumbled the ball. And I think that's the biggest thing is like, man, yeah, I got 40 yards, we won, but I turned the ball over. So I really put us behind the 8 ball early. So I'm glad Zeke said what he said. He's a team player because what they're trying to do is that I can see what they're trying to do. Zeke's a bad teammate because, see, when Zeke had it going and Dak was the game manager, Dak was always so happy for Zeke. Now the roles have seemingly reversed, and all of a sudden he's not getting the shine that Dak is. Now he a bad teammate. Nah, Zeke said, I ain't gonna let y'all do that. I'm happy for my bruh. We friends for real, on and off the field. So I'm glad the way Zeke handled it the way he did, because he ain't gonna let y'all try to tear them apart, nor should he.
I didn't see the same thing you just saw because it's hard for me to even watch that guy that we just saw in that soundbite we just played. I don't know who that guy is anymore. That scares me because I can't tell you how much I miss the old Zeke. The Zeke that I knew and loved and fought with you for day after day after day on the show, that he's the best running back in football. I miss that man who ran angry, who attacked defenses with this supreme athletic arrogance of, I'm just better than all y'all you-know-whats on defense. I miss the man who played and lived, sometimes to a fault, with edge, with raw pride edge. And he was always in media sessions in his first 3 years, like one question away from exploding. He'd get defensive and you could just see it. And he'd have to just clench his teeth like, okay, that's enough of this. I don't know who that guy was yesterday, but I told you Tuesday what I wanted to see in that media session was a flash of raw pride, of a little bit of anger in as much as I wanted to hear him say, I have not been myself the last couple of weeks, and that will change this Sunday up at New England. I wanted to see a little bit of the old Zeke, and I saw this new guy. I saw timid Zeke. I saw nice, sweet, aw shucks Zeke. I never thought those words would go together. Aw shucks Zeke. He's like, you guys are making me feel awkward.
Yeah.
What was that?
Because
what was that?
It was Skip Bayless. You see what you did? Now you see what you did. Now when Zeke had this thing going and they were winning games and Dak was throwing for 190, you didn't say I want to see Dak come out there and say I'm gonna throw for 303 touchdowns the next week. So why the hell you want to see Zeke upset the apple cart so you can have something to talk about?
I'm just, you know how I react on this show. I say what I see.
I know.
And I'm seeing way different Zeke. I'm seeing a new guy who even has new multiple nose ring piercing.
He had that at the beginning of the year.
Okay, but it's a new deal. To the point, is this like peace and love, Zeke? I don't know. Is this? I got my $50 million guaranteed. All is right in my world. Everything is peace and love. All is good. I don't care. You win some, you lose some. You have good days, you have bad days. I'm just going along for the ride because we did win this game. That's how it's coming across to me. The other guy had raw edge to him. And again, it would filter into off the field and we'd get all kinds of bar fights. But
why didn't you ask that of Dak? When Dak was throwing for 190, 200 yards, why didn't you ask him to come out there and say, this week I'm throwing for 404 touchdowns? Why didn't you ask that of him?
I told you from the start, Dak Prescott was really good, but you never could see it.
No.
I saw it from the start. There was nothing to be angry about because he was the driving force of the team. I told you from day one on this show, it's about the quarterback. But he was complimented beautifully by this running back who ran like with contagious rage.
Skip, how can you be the driving force and you're throwing for $190? You're throwing for
he had a bunch of 300-yard games.
So he
led the league in QBR his first year until the last game when they mailed it in. He went 4 of 8. What are you talking about? You haven't seen Dak Prescott from the start. There was nothing to hold him accountable for. He led the league in game-winning drives his first 3 years. Why would I say, Dak, you need to get angry. You haven't been playing up to your standards. This guy led the league in rushing 2 of 3 years, and it would have been 3 of 3 without the 6-game suspension. I don't know him.
But I'm asking, when he was leading the league in rushing, why didn't you ask more from Dak?
I didn't need more. They won.
They won
the division 2 of 3 years.
Exactly.
What are you talking about?
Because you just said it.
I told you all along.
I didn't ask for more from Dak because they were winning.
Because he was playing at a supremely high level.
Throwing for $180.
He set the record for quarterbacks in their first 3 years for completion percentage. How could you ask more? He made the Pro Bowl 2 out of 3 years. I don't know what more you could ask for.
You make it seem like
he was the star of the team. He made all the big plays.
10 games in, you make it seem like Zeke has 300 yards rushing. Okay, he's not at the top.
I'm going eye test. You should use eye test. You're in the Hall of Fame, and you should tell me if you're seeing the same guy because I'm seeing Zeke, who runs like he's plodding in Cabo Sand. He runs timid.
Okay.
He was tiptoeing against Minnesota and tiptoeing at Detroit to the line of scrimmage. Is it his blockers' fault? You could certainly heap some of the blame on that offensive line.
Okay.
But I'm not seeing the attack mode I used to see. This guy, what have I told you 1,000 times on the show? Greatest body lean I've ever seen from a running back, because he would run through brick walls. There'd be no hole, and he would carry people 5 yards.
Okay.
He used to be as automatic on 3rd and 2 as you could get. Now he's an automatic 2-yard gain on first down.
Okay.
1 yard, 2 yards, 0 yards, 1 yard, 2 yards. I gave you the stat yesterday about first downs. Tied for second in carries on first down, and he's tied for 24th in yards per carry on first down.
On the offensive side of the football, the two most dependent positions are wide receiver and running back. The wide receiver is dependent on the quarterback giving him the football. The running back is dependent on the offensive line opening holes. You tell me. Now, you said the Monday after they lost to the Vikings, every last one of the Cowboys offensive linemen got their you used their Royals butt kicked. But how was Zeke supposed to get 100 yards when they got their butts kicked?
Because every once in a while, a running back comes along who makes his own holes. And we've seen them. I see Dalvin Cook this year. He's making a lot of his own holes.
How did Dalvin do
jump cuts?
How did Dalvin do against the Broncos? 20 yards rushing.
Okay. You know who I'm seeing open holes for himself is Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson right now is the best running back in football, and he's also playing as good a quarterback as anybody.
Well, Skip, it's hard to defend the quarterback considering that he might throw the ball. Some of those runs that he have are not designed.
I saw a stat last night. Lamar is running away with the league lead in yards gained with defenders within 1 yard of him. So you can't get him down.
Right.
You can take your shot, but if you're within 1 yard of him, he's probably still going to go for more.
Ask the Texans last week
Okay.
about that run he had. He didn't score.
All right. I used to see that from this guy, and I don't see the body language, the demeanor. And I'm going to drive this home with the greatest irony of all. When do I need Zeke the most? Have you been noticing what's been happening to the New England defense of late?
Yeah.
They are getting gashed by the run. What is happening? They've now dropped to 10th in yards per rush against them, okay, or yards per game. And yet Pro Football Focus now ranks them 29th against the rush in overall effectiveness. And obviously over the last 3 games, if you just do the last 3, they're second from last in rush yards allowed.
Right.
So something is going wrong because it started, and you brought it up that next day, it started with Nick Chubb. He goes 20 runs for 131 yards. Now, Cleveland lost the game 27-13, but here came Lamar and company. At Baltimore Sunday night, I believe it was.
Sunday night.
210 yards rushing. Mark Ingram went 15 times for 115, and Lamar added a nice little 16 carries for 61 more yards. 210 yards rushing. You know what I saw that night, my eye test? I saw New England's front get bullied. I saw it get overpowered. I saw Baltimore just line up and say, you know what? We're bigger, stronger, tougher than you are because you're a little undersized in your front seven. They're mobile. They play with finesse, and they're obviously expertly coached.
Right.
But they can be just overwhelmed by brute force. Right? The Cowboys got potential brute force in their front. They don't play like that.
Well, we're about to find out.
Okay. Well, what I'm saying is, isn't this game made for Zeke to come out and say, okay, watch this.
Yes.
I will run over these people because they can't stop me. They're not big enough and strong enough to keep stopping me. I'll hammer you into oblivion.
Well, Skip, the thing is that Zeke, and you're right, the last 3 weeks, the Patriots' run defense hasn't been what we are accustomed to seeing. And a lot of times Skip, they had such a big lead, a team run a draw on them or something like that, you put up those empty calorie yards. But in this, and we even chalked that up with Chubb because they were like, look how far they were behind. So it really didn't mean anything. It really didn't come to the forefront until we saw a nip-tuck game where they were behind and the Ravens were still running the football at will, getting 4, 10, and Lamar was just running on that 4th down run, got that touchdown. But Skip, Zeke also has to be careful because you see what's happening. Now they're saying Dak is now up to 3rd in the MVP voting. He has to be careful because anything that he says might be off. So now all of a sudden, Dak is starting to get shine. I'm upset. Hey, I'm gonna go out and get me 100 yards. No, bro.
I see that.
When the opportunity presents itself, Skip, I assure you, Zeke Elliott is more than capable of carrying the load. The opportunity presents itself, but he has to walk a very fine line. And Skip, most players, especially if you're not the quarterback, receivers and running backs, they get labeled, and DBs also, especially corners, get labeled as divas. Zeke doesn't want to get labeled that. I sincerely believe that Zeke and Dak are really good friends. Not only are they teammates, they're good friends off the field.
I believe they're best friends.
Yes.
And remember, Dak has been there every step of the way through all of Zeke's off-field controversies.
They came in together. It was voted they had the best class of this decade.
Yep.
Because they had Zeke, Dak, Jalen Smith, and Malik Collins. That's a hell of a first 4 picks.
Anthony Brown, throw him in, but go ahead.
Yeah. So they're very, very close. And he doesn't want to do anything that would come off that all of a sudden he's upset that Dak's getting shine and he's not getting the shine that he once did.
I don't believe there's ever any conflict between these two in that regard.
I know they're not. But I'm saying the perception, what it would be. I want my boy to do good. I want him to get that bag. I got me a bag, I got me a little bag, but Dak about to get the big old duffel bag. So, he going to have to be really, really good. So,
what did Zeke do when he caught the screen pass and scored at Detroit? What did he do?
He did the Dak dance.
He honored his quarterback.
Love it.
He did the Dak.
Yes.
You were fine with it if it was a teammate? I was just curious.
I'm fine. I liked it because, but it's the new Zeke.
Yeah.
And he finished off his remarks by yesterday saying, "I just want to be a good teammate."
Okay. Yes.
Like I'm happy to be a cog in the attack.
Right.
And he's happy to honor the quarterback because he's just acknowledging publicly he's the show now.
Right.
I'm just going along for his ride. You know. Like
and Skip, sometimes that goes unnoticed, being a good teammate. When you've had the success that Zeke has had, obviously you want to continue that. It's tough. All of a sudden, somebody else starting to get a little shine, and Dak, Skip, the guy's in the MVP discussion.
The competitiveness.
I mean, and you see what he's doing.
I don't want him to be content being a
No,
good
I don't
teammate.
believe he's content. I don't believe he's content because Zeke understands that he's on a Hall of Fame trajectory.
Well, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skip.
He's 8th in the league in rushing. Is that Hall of Fame?
Let me ask you a question.
Seriously.
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe he'll finish the season 8th the worst in the league in rushing?
I don't know. That's a great question. I wish I had an answer. You think he'll improve? If he does, my team's got a real shot.
Whoa.
If he does not, I'm real shaky on my teams, how far they're going to make
Well,
it.
help me understand. Now, you just sat in that very seat right there. I was sitting right here. Jenny was sitting right there. You told me now the Cowboys have morphed into a passing team. This is Dak Prescott team. Now, how you want him to get the same amount of carries and the same amount of yards when they throw the ball more?
What is Belichick known for? Whatever it requires, this game versus this defense, I will do that. Sometimes I let Tom throw it. Sometimes we just decide we can run it down their throat. How many times have you seen a game, some big Sunday night game, when they'll just say, what? And they're handing it off.
It's from game to game. It's from half to half. Nobody makes the halftime adjustments like the Patriots.
Okay.
But the thing is, Coach Belichick normally tries to take away. He's going to take away A. If he can, he'll take away A and B and make you beat him with C. So what is A for the Cowboys? You believe it's throwing the football. So I believe...
it's not even, do I believe it? It's what's been happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if that's the case...
It's statistically screaming at you.
So if that's the case, if you believe that, and by the eye test, and you said, if there are a passing team, and Coach Belichick says, I take away A, which is the pass, Zeke should have a monster day.
You would think so.
It's hard for me to believe
It's also possible he could have a monster day no matter what they do.
Okay.
Because I do believe that Belichick went to Baltimore thinking, we can't let them run wild on us, right? And they just did. Because you know what? They're that good.
Yeah.
And you're a little smallish in your front. So there's a supreme advantage, especially Baltimore's got a big, nasty offensive line.
Yeah.
They play nastier than the Cowboy line does. The Cowboy line plays like they're a little overpaid to me. That's just me.
And Skip, the thing is, the difference between Lamar and Dak is not the threat. Even though he can run, he's not the threat that Lamar Jackson is with his legs.
No.
Because Lamar Jackson is, if he jumps out the window, you rush him, And that's what Coach Belichick had to be cautious of.
No,
Coach Belichick's like to go zero coverage, nobody back there. Skip, that guy gets break the line of scrimmage to zero coverage, it's over.
That can hurt you.
Yes.
Lamar can beat you.
Yes. So it's going to be interesting, the cat and mouse game. I'm anxious to see. Coach Belichick calls this game against a first-year offensive coordinator in Kellen Moore. That's really the cat and mouse, Skip, right there. How is he going to call this, and what is Coach Belichick going to do?
You think Kellen's a little intimidated? A little nervous?
Come on now, that's your guy.
It's kind of a big
You
moment
love
for him.
Kellen Moore.
I think that buck stops on Jason Garrett's death.
No. I ain't gonna let you do that. I'm not gonna let you do that.
Yeah.
He's about to show you. Now, you believe in Dak. Now, Skip, if Dak were to go to New England and do what Moses did and lead them people out of there, Skip, I ain't had no choice. I got to come in here. I'm coming in here. Skip, you got me.
What are you going to do?
You got me, Skip.
Maybe a jersey?
I might get on the thing and start trumpeting Dak for MVP.
Well, I'll tell you where I hope you have me. I hope I get to come in on Monday morning and say, Zeke is back. Eat, Zeke, eat. Because I miss him eating. You know what? I'd love to see the first 12 plays of the game be Zeke 5, Zeke 7, Zeke 5, Zeke 6, Zeke 8, Zeke 17. Seriously. Would I love to see that? Yes.
I guess that means you picking the Cowboys.
I haven't gotten there. That's tomorrow. Yeah. I'm just telling you what I would like to see.
Okay.
No, what I want to see is your guy go head-to-head with Tom Terrific, and I'll duel him like Nick Foles did, and like Lamar Jackson did. That's what I want to see.
Well, you said Tom Brady is the Wash King.
Stop trying to take my man's title.
He deserves it, to go according to you. Your man doesn't deserve it.
Does.
So you say LeBron is the Wash King?
I remember you came out here that first game.
Yeah.
Let's hear this clip. Let's hear what Kenny Smith said. And you like, woo! That was, woo!
Well, I didn't say it. He said it.
No,
the great Kenny Smith said
and you
it.
said, I can take that to my bank.
Well, Kenny Smith is
You're
really
overdrawn.
smart.
I don't know if he
You
said
ain't
it.
Kenny Smith
I
overdrawn.
love Kenny Smith.
You're overdrawn.
Kenny Smith said Kawhi Leonard made LeBron James look not athletic. Not athletic.
Oh, I got a little something for you. I'm going to see how Kawhi looked last night.
No mercy.
Kawhi Leonard and Paul George played their first game together last night, and they did not disappoint, combining for 42 points in the Clippers' 107-104 overtime win against the Celtics. Lou Williams finished with a team-high 27 points, but it was Kawhi who clinched the victory with a last-second block on Kemba Walker. So, Shannon, what did you learn from Kawhi and Paul George in their first game together?
They're going to be an outstanding. They might be a better defensive team than even we previously thought. Because
That's a mouthful from Shannon Sharp.
The Celtics was running the wheel up top, and they can switch everything. Paul George would switch on Kemba. Pat Bev would switch on Jason Tatum. They would switch to Marcus Smart, and no matter what you did, they can just switch it up front. And then when you put Trez in the mix, they got 4 outstanding defenders, on-ball defenders. Now, Lou Will is not much of a defender, but in the fourth quarter, he's more of an asset on the offensive end than he is a liability on the defensive end. So they're going to be outstanding on that end of the floor. You see the Celtics race out to have this lead, and then in 3 possessions, they lock you down, you get nothing, and they go 3, 3, 2, and all of a sudden, guess what? They're right back in the ballgame. Where you thought you was about to run away from them.
They were down 10, where was the home team Clippers with 6:15 left.
Yes.
Okay.
And then, they hit a couple of threes, and then they lock you down in this ball game. But I'm just trying to figure out the best player on the planet. Everybody's told me he's the best player.
Sure.
Considering what he did last year and how good he looked opening night. How can the best player in the planet in the fourth quarter and overtime, that's 15 minutes, because there's 12 minutes in the fourth quarter, and there's 5 minutes in overtime, so that's 17 minutes. Kawhi Leonard played 15 of those minutes. He had 4 points, 1 of 7 from the floor, 0 for 4 from 3. But let me tell you what I did see. I saw a lot of bending over with his hands on his shorts, because the hardest thing that it is to do, Skip, is when you load management or you miss games, is to stay in condition. It's hard to do that and try to play the kind of minutes that he was playing. He looked tired to me. I don't know what it looked like to you, but he looked tired to me. Because 17 points. And again, another one of these nights, Skip, 7 of 20. I just want to know, is 7 of 20 good? 7 of
my turn?
No, I mean, you could just say, no, Shannon, that's not good, or yes, Shannon, that's good.
I can't answer.
Yes or no question? Answer.
Hold up.
Great.
What am I supposed to do with 3 for 10? Now, you telling me LeBron James, he's not a very good, Kawhi Leonard is shooting 37%. Is he still shooting 37% from the 3?
Tell me when it's my turn.
It's not your turn just yet. Skip, did you know he didn't go to the free throw line? Now, hold on. I'm trying to figure out this great facility because Doc told everybody that Kawhi has the ball in his hands more and he can facilitate the offense. I know what he had on last night. He had on KD jersey. He had 3 assists and 5 turnovers. 35. Is that good, Skip? Because my guy doing 12-0. My guy do 11-2. My guy do 16-1. That's what my guy does. But your guy,
who's your guy?
You know who my guy is. You do know who he is. Oh, Goat James.
You can remind us.
Don't do that. Whoa! I'm glad you brought that up. How can you be the best player on the planet, and then they bring in Sweet Lou, and to close this thing out for you? Now, hold on. You got supposedly 2 of the best players. I think they did the top 10. I think Kawhi and Paul George, they were 2 guys in the top 10. And they needed Sweet Lou to close this thing down for. And then to make it, Skip, the 4th option, Pat Bev. Because if you look at it, how Skip? If you don't mind me asking, why is Lou Williams with Paul George and Kawhi handling the ball? When you got the best player on the planet and a top 5, top 6 player, why is Lou Williams handling the ball?
Boy, you're talking a long time, and I'm not answering any of your
You
questions.
Got a lot to say.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, Skip Bayless, they look good. They look good defensively. But if you think what we got brewing upstairs, because y'all still in the basement, if you think what we got brewing upstairs scared of you, you're wrong. You're dead wrong, bro. We got something for you. We got something for you on Christmas. I promise you that.
That's still really early in the season.
I don't care nothing about that. No, you told me the season starts on Christmas. That's what you told me, Skip. Now, which is it? Does it start on Christmas or not?
My biggest takeaway from last night, this team that I watched that hasn't even practiced together yet, these two, by March, April, May, they're going to be better than your team. That's what I saw last night.
Okay, we're going to see.
It will also hinge upon this. Right now, I'm going to give Kawhi Leonard this. He's hurt.
No. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
He was limping through the whole game.
I don't want to hear that.
Well, that's what was happening. On the offensive end, it was happening. But the stats that you conveniently overlooked, probably because you didn't even think about it, Kawhi's stats in the final box score aren't actually under home team LA Clippers. The key stat for Kawhi Leonard is actually under visiting team Boston Celtics. And by the way, Boston's really good. They're now 11-3, so they're 11-2 going into this game. And who is their best player? Who is their premier scorer? Their newest member is Kemba Walker. Help me out over there on your box score. What did he have last night?
Oh, he's 4 of 17.
4 of 17. Let me ask you, is that good? 4 of 17?
Enough.
Guess who guarded Kemba Walker for the 38 minutes that he played in that game hurt? Okay. Kawhi Leonard took Kemba every time, and I was watching closely.
He didn't.
Yes,
he was guarding Jason. He was guarding Jaylen Brown.
He was all over Kemba Walker all night long.
In the fourth and in overtime.
A whole lot of the time he was on Kemba. Not completely, because they do switch a lot, but for the most part, his assignment was to take little Kemba out of the game, and he did. 4 of 17. He wouldn't even let Kemba get to the free throw line because he shot 3 free throws and made 2 of them.
Well, what good is it you taking somebody else out the game and you take your damn self out the game? What did he do? What did he do?
It was a defensive battle between 2 really good defensive teams, and the final score at the end of regulation was, what, Mr. Sharp? 97-97. Yeah. And it wasn't because the slow time offense was on display at Staples Center. It wasn't because LeBron was walking the ball up the court. It's because these 2 teams get up in you, get after you, lock you up and lock you down. And this man locked down little Kemba all the way to the last shot of overtime that could have tied the score. If we could please see the claw in action, even on a gimpy knee. Watch this. Ball game. The claw got him. He extends. He's got reach like 7'5" tall, and he got fingertips on Kemba's arced 3-point shot.
But here's the thing.
Ball game.
Skip.
Defensive player of the game.
Okay.
Thank you.
Defensive player of the game. But let me ask you this. If that had been LeBron, blocked Kemba Walker, you say, that's little old Kemba. He's 5'10". Okay. He should have blocked him.
You know, it's funny. Once upon a time, it must have been 6 or 8 years ago, I remember one night, somewhere, I think he was still with the Heat at this point, where LeBron said after the game, I had to take Kemba in the fourth quarter because he's just lightning quick, and I was the only one who could, as you say, sit in the chair and stop him. And LeBron did.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. Once upon a time.
Skip, the man. First of all, Kawhi won't even be in a chair. Kawhi will be in a walker when he's 35. Because if you think he's going to be sitting in the chair, he won't be sitting in the chair much longer. Because remember, Skip, he can't, LeBron was sitting in that chair on a nightly basis. He can't even do it back-to-back games. And you think he's going to be doing that at 35? But I just want to know this. Yeah. Well, so who had Jason Tatum? I don't want to know who.
Paul George had him mostly, and he got him at the end. He hit the three.
Busted.
But he stepped on his foot.
Bang, bang.
Yeah, he tripped and fell.
Did you, Skip, I'm looking at
I think there's a little push-off before that shot.
I'm looking at the stats, but of the starters, did you know the best player on the planet was the only one that had a plus-minus rating? Why was that?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Mentioned that yet.
I don't know.
You do know.
So, who had the offensive play of the night in this game with about 3 minutes and 15 seconds left as they were making their comeback?
Skip Bayless, you better not show it.
Offensive
You better not
player
show
of
it,
the
Skip
game.
Bayless.
That's the Jason Tatum shot.
Skip Bayless.
Oh, he
Skip.
blows by Marcus Smart and boom on Tice.
Oh.
Woo! Nice, Tice.
How much
Really,
did you
Skip?
like that?
Hold on,
Watch it.
Skip Bayless.
Boom.
Skip Bayless.
Boom, look at Ballmer.
I love Ballmer.
Boom.
I watched this to see what he does.
Skip, I know you just didn't show a dunk. When my guy in year 17, dunk don't be a Lisa. And all you said was, what is LeBron? He can't dunk. But Tice can dunk. Can jump.
Yeah, Tice can leap out of the gym.
Skip, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
You know what? LeBron got a little more air underneath it.
A little?
Yeah, and my guy has got a gimpy knee, and he was limpy on offense the whole night, and I was surprised he got up that high.
And he pushed
dared
off
to
anyway.
challenge Tice.
Pushed off
Yeah,
anyway.
well, he does that a lot.
But
He's
Skip,
good at that.
But Skip, I mean, somebody
Okay,
need that.
so here's the irony of what happened last night. In the fourth quarter, Paul George went 0 for 3, and Kawhi Leonard went 0 for 3 from 3 in the fourth quarter. And somehow they came from 10 down and then 7 down with what was it, 2:21 left, and tied the score. How did they do that? Because of the dynamic duo, Patrick Beverly and Lou Will.
There you go.
The other dynamic duo.
That's true.
Who knew? Patrick Beverly came into this game shooting 19% from the three-point line. Think about that, 19%.
I love it.
In the fourth quarter and overtime, Pat Bev made 4 out of 5 threes, and they were big-time clutch shots.
Skip,
Woo!
you live with that.
Whoa.
He's the fourth guy. So you say, look, we're not going to let Sweet Lou, Paul George, or Kawhi. We're not going to let them beat us. Pat Bev will be the next guy. Montrez would be after that. And he hit shots. Skip, he had 16 rebounds at about 6 foot tall. And the biggest rebound, Skip, was the one he skied after Paul George missed it, kicked it back to him, and he hit another 3, and they put him up by 1.
He told Doc, said Pat Bev after the game, he said, I told Doc in one timeout, I was so open on that 3 that I didn't even know if I could make it because I was too open. And it's because of all the attention paid to Kawhi Leonard and to Paul George.
Oh, really? So
It's a good quote.
Skip, is that what happened when LeBron James got the ball and all the attention passed was applied to him and he kicked it to Danny Green in the sweep in the dead corner?
There was no attention applied to him because it was a 3-point game and he was going to dunk it.
Skip.
Oh, thank you, LeBron.
So why wouldn't they plaster the Paul? Why wouldn't they plaster the Danny Green then?
Why
weren't they? If there nobody was playing,
plastered.
Yes.
Oh, because Dwight held on to Seth Curry's jersey.
Skip.
That's why.
Skip.
He grabbed his jersey.
Skip. If LeBron,
and they didn't call it.
If LeBron James would have had a game like this, he and Anthony Davis, and it took Caldwell Pope and Caruso.
Well, wait a second. LeBron and Anthony did have a game just like that against the Clippers on opening night. Their fourth quarter was even worse than that fourth quarter.
Skip.
I mean, at least Kawhi scored a few points in the fourth. Right?
A few, huh?
He scored 4.
You see?
Yeah.
You see?
Did LeBron? LeBron had 2 and AD had none against the Clippers in a winnable game.
It's Sweet Lou.
Yeah, and I'm going to give you this. Sweet Lou is the closer for this team, and it did surprise me. I'm going to be totally objective about this. It surprised me that on the last play of regulation, Doc ran the play for Kawhi Leonard, who was 0 for 3 from 3 in the fourth quarter.
Now, these superstars, you got to give it to him. He might not say anything, but Skip, he got pride.
Because he signed with you? Is that what you're doing?
Well, Skip, he's still the superstar.
Yeah.
And you go to him and say, we want to run this play. And if he says, and now he might come say, Doc, tonight, hey, let's run it for Lou. But other than that, you going to him or Paul George.
Okay, but he's just on the wing, and they didn't even go pick for him. They just had him try to work on Marcus Smart, and he's got no lift because he got a bum knee.
Why he got no lift?
And again, go pick for him. Let him come off a pick and shoot a mid-range jump shot.
He been in bed all week.
Yeah.
He been eating chicken noodle soup. That's Autumn said mom made him some chicken noodle soup. So he been eating chicken noodle soup, and he been on bed rest for a whole week, and he got no lift?
Rest.
He got no lift?
I don't know if that's the...
So you're pinning your hopes on a guy with a bulky knee. That's what you got your hopes.
Could be a problem.
It's worrisome.
Nah,
It's
that's not
something
my
to think
problem.
about, right?
That's not my problem.
No, it could be your advantage.
All I know is we got somebody upstairs.
Yeah.
Like I said, we leave Igor's in the basement.
Really?
Yeah. The doctors are upstairs. And what we got brewing, we got something for them. We got something for you on Christmas Day.
Igor dominated on opening night.
So you see?
Yeah.
That's all you got.
Dominated
Like you
the
tell
Masters.
me, like you tell me, that's all you got. That's all you got.
But what we are seeing at Staples right now, regardless, is very exciting because both
Your
teams
day
have the
coming,
potential. Your quote from
Your day
Beverly,
already
though,
came.
how good they can be with the superstars, that's pretty telling.
No mercy.
Sunday will mark the first ever meeting between Dak Prescott and Tom Brady. Earlier this season, Jerry Jones said that Dak is evolving into a quarterback similar to TB12. But last year during Super Bowl week, Cowboys wide receiver Amari Cooper had an interesting comment on which QB he'd rather play with. Take a listen.
I don't want to play with Tom Brady. I want to beat Tom Brady. I want to play with Dak Prescott. And I believe that we can get the job done.
Remember that. Shannon, what do you read into this?
I love it. I love that he said this because so many times you hear guys, Skip, who wouldn't love to play with Tom Brady? He just a GOAT. He won 6 Super Bowls. Mara said, nah, I like what I got. My guy, and moving forward, my guy gonna be better moving forward than that guy.
Is that what he's saying?
That's what he's saying.
Good. Love it.
I bet you do love it. Skip, that's what you want your guy to, Skip, you don't, look, being in the league and going to Pro Bowls and getting an opportunity to play with some of the great quarterbacks, the Marinos, I played with Marino in the Pro Bowl, Montana, Warren Moon, Jim Kelly, I played with all those guys. Yeah, it was nice. But what I look like, Skip, man, I sure wish I could play with Marino. Man, I wish I could play with Warren Moon. Nah, you don't say that.
Don't say
and what he said is that I want to beat Tom Brady. I want to play with him. I want me and my guy. I want to play with my guy, which is Dak Prescott, and I want to beat Tom Brady.
Yep.
See, that's what you want to have your receiver say.
Sure.
Not bring a guy some cleats, not heap praise on him like he's Caesar. You know, we come to praise Caesar.
That's true. The cleats.
Not to bury him.
Not to bury him. No, but man, if it wasn't so. But anyway, you know, Skip, Mark Antony oration.
Wow.
Skip, you remember that? Recited. I was good at it, Skip.
You guys are
Shakespearean.
so well read around here.
Skip, it would be
Don't
a
get me started.
Skip, it would
Every time Shakespeare comes up on a Jeopardy category,
you
he looks at me and says, I'm out.
Oh, you run the category,
You're gonna
huh?
kill me.
Really?
Yeah.
But see, you just
wanna
blurt not answer. You
learn
got to
more
ring the
about
buzzer.
that.
You got to let.
I know.
You gotta
That
wait.
is the key to it.
That is the key.
I know, because you did it.
I had to learn the hard way.
That's why I would be afraid. Ernestine always says, you could just kill Jeopardy if you go on Celebrity Jeopardy. I said, I don't know if I could do this.
Yeah, you got to wait. He have to wait till he finishes reading the question in its entirety.
Is that half
because
the
if
battle?
because if you buzz in, it locks you out.
I never even thought about that.
Yes, but anyway, Skip, it would be a problem, Skip. For me, I could imagine me playing, you know, me and John, and he's like, man, I sure would love to throw Tony Gonzalez some passes, or Ben Coates. Yeah, you might have to do it with one eye, because I'm going to hit you in one of the other ones. So, no, you don't do that, Skip. You don't show up your quarterback and talk about you want to play with somebody else. You don't do that. And Amari Cooper, I love what he said. I love the conviction, because she tried to set him up. Now, that was a Boston area reporter.
Yes.
So she tried to look, because you know they want everybody. Oh, everybody want to play Tom Brady. You see, everybody. Oh, Amari Cooper and Julio Jones and yada yada yada. So she tried to set him up, but Amari said, "Nah, I don't want to play with Tom Brady. I want to play with Dak, and we want to beat Tom Brady." So I loved it. Amari Cooper might be one of my new faves.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, he better be your fave on Sunday.
Yeah.
So, I loved it twice as much as you loved
I
it
bet
for
you
this
did.
reason. And you touched upon it, and so did Jenny. I'm pretty sure that Amari, this is at the Super Bowl,
Right.
I'm sure Amari's agent or manager or PR person warned him, you're about to speak to NESN, New England Sports Network. be ready for Nesson questions, as in Brady questions,
Correct.
as in Patriot questions.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure he'd been prepped, and he still showed no fear and blurted out, I want to beat Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I believe that most great receivers would give more of a PC answer.
Who wouldn't want to play with Tom Brady?
Yeah, that kind of an
Yeah.
answer. Or, hey, it would be an honor to play with
Yes.
Tom. You could then say, I love my quarterback, but it would be an honor. Who wouldn't
Right.
want to? Yes,
Right.
that sort of
You're
thing.
right.
And he just went right to, I want to beat Tom Brady. I want to play with Dak Prescott. I believe that we can get the job done.
Right.
And then I want to double down on this because he did in a subsequent interview on the same, right in the same media session. There, you just walk around all the different booths.
They got to be 500 meters.
500 booths. And he stopped by the NFL Network booth and he was interviewed. And the first question seemed to offend him. And I don't have the sound. I'm just going to read you the answer to it, if we could see this. He was asked, do you think Dak Prescott is a franchise quarterback? And his answer was, of course, like he was a little offended by the question. You don't see that? He's a winner. I love Dak. He's a born leader from what I can see. He's going to put it all on the line. And all the close games we had this year, he was the one making those big plays leading us to victory. I just like everything about Dak. It's the same theme that I talk about almost every day on this show and have for 3.5 years.
Yes. Sure.
It's this perception out there, maybe started and led by you, fed by you, which is Dak really the answer at quarterback? It's why I continue to say most over-criticized, underappreciated quarterback I've ever closely observed or talked about on television or written about is Dak Prescott. And that's the answer that you just got from Amari. He loves this guy. And this guy and Amari have a connection, a deep sort of soul connection that manifests itself on the field. And it's as strong as any connection you can talk. You had one with John Elway, and we can go all through Marvin Harrison and Peyton or whoever you want to talk about. We can go on and on. We can go back to Drew Pearson and Roger Staubach in the good old days with
Montana
the Cowboys.
and Rice.
Montana and Rice.
Right now is Breeze and Michael Thomas.
Okay, you can go there. But on the depth of connection on and off the field, there's nothing stronger than this one. Maybe Drew and Michael have as strong, but this one I don't doubt. And the reason this is so significant this week is, guess who plays for the other team? Stephon Gilmore. Last year, Stephon Gilmore finished the year ranked number 1 by Pro Football Focus among all corners. You would say he's as good a shutdown corner as we have in the league right now, right?
He might be the best right now.
He just might be the best. His grade this year isn't quite as good as last year, but we could nitpick that. Right now, ranked number 1 of all the wide receivers in overall grade by Pro Football Focus is Amari Cooper. So arguably, we have
1 versus 1.
1 versus 1, at least in grading, route running. You always say, is there a better route runner than Amari?
No, he's up there to the top. As good
Okay.
as you'll see.
Okay, and we saw the connection between Dak and Amari against your Vikings was just extraordinary.
Sure.
Where Dak's like falling out of bounds and throws it sidearm up the boundary and he catches it out of bounds.
Yeah.
It's just a wavelength. It's something that's pretty extraordinary to me. And again, it's not like it's not like he's burning up the league because Amari hasn't played that much. Like he's been in and out.
But Skip, he's still 4th in receiving yards.
No, he's 16th in catches.
Yeah, but I'm saying, receiving yards, only Michael Thomas, Godwin, Mike Evans is in front of him.
Okay, but if he had been healthy from camp on, like he's had a heel issue, then it manifested to a foot, and then it turned into some kind of knee issue.
But it just goes to show you how technically sound he is, that he doesn't have to rely on speed.
Nope.
See, when you technically sound, you can still get open even if you don't have the blazing speed.
I don't think he has blazing speed.
No. He doesn't have, Tyreek and some of these other guys, Skip, but he's so sound, and that's why he'll be able to play for a long, long time. The guys like Steve Largent that had, Skip, he had no speed.
Yep.
But he still had, when he retired, he had the most receiving touchdowns in NFL history.
Yep.
And he was able to do what he did because he was so technologically sound and savvy in his route running skill. That's why Amari is able to do what he's doing, dealing with the issues, his lower legs, what you say, heel, ankle, whatever it is, knee. That's why he's able to continue to still get open because he relies on other things other than speed.
Okay, and then to frame this one more time, This wasn't Amari talking this week. This was Amari talking at last year's Super Bowl. So he hadn't even seen the Dak we've seen continue to rise this year.
But actually, he saw it in practice.
But he saw it for 10 games last year. And I'm going to defend my guy Dak one more time because I thought those 10 games were extraordinary. Nobody else did. You certainly didn't. But I saw a guy over those 10 games lead the whole league in completions. I saw a guy against the Eagles at Jerry World in the fourth quarter and overtime throw for 243 yards. He completed 17 of 20. 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. That's the guy Amari's talking about when you ask him, is he a franchise quarterback after that year? And again, they won the division again. So they've won the division 2 out of 3 years. And you're asking Amari Cooper, is he a franchise quarterback? Wouldn't you be offended if you're Amari Cooper?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, the rapport that I've had with the guy after only 8-9 games. But Skip, I believe in his heart of hearts that he believed moving forward that Dak's going to be a better quarterback. Now, he doesn't know how long, Tom says he wants to play to 45, 47, whatever it is. He believes, I believe in his heart of hearts, he believed that Dak Prescott, from that point that he said that moving forward, would be a better quarterback than Tom Brady.
I believe he thought that too and still thinks that.
Absolutely.
Yep. And believes that will be the case Sunday.
Yes.
Oh, all right, Amari and his guy.
It better be.
His chance.
But think about Belichick's advantage. He can put Stephon on Amari, and then you can double anybody you want to double.
I would like to see Amari at full strength because I don't believe, because as a route runner, Stephon Gilmore does really well against big guys.
He does.
That doesn't have lateral quickness.
Yep.
Dude, Amari, lateral quickness, stop. He's as good as it is.
Yeah.
That's why Gilmore will struggle against a guy like AB,
Yep.
a guy that can start that.
I got it.
That punt return kind of ability.
Well, this is going to be the game within the game.
It is.
These two.
Oh, well, he's definitely following. But what I would do, Skip, I would take Gilmore and put him on the second guy, Gallup, and then I would double Amari.
You could.
Okay.
You could. But that's not their MO. That's not how they've been doing it.
Because a lot of times that's what Dallas would sometimes, and if the guy started going off, they would take Dion, put him on the second guy, and then they would roll coverage and double the number one guy. But then Dion's like, no, this ain't me.
Although I will say,
give me Jerry.
At the end of the Eagles game, a lot of times they put Stephon on Zach Ertz.
Yes.
Because they just said, well, he's your guy, right?
That's what you got. And guys, if you're that dog, Skip, you want that challenge. I don't care what position he plays.
it.
If you're a DB, as the guy's a tight end, he's a wide out.
Yep.
No, bro, you ain't finna get all that. Get these cheap yards and have us looking bad. Let me shut this down.
No mercy.
While Philly is just a game back of Skip's Cowboys in the NFC East, some people have started to ask questions about Carson Wentz's development. Ever since being an MVP candidate 2 seasons ago, Wentz has yet to recapture that magic, leading Bleacher Report to write that, quote, Wentz's decline is one of the steepest in recent cases. The article cites both Wentz's own accuracy issues as well as Eagles receivers dropping too many passes. Yeah. It's big there. Shannon, who deserves more blame, Wentz or his receivers?
He saw that. Receivers. Mainly Aguilar. They even got memes out there about it.
Couldn't catch a baby?
Yeah, you said they were rescuing babies, burning buildings.
That
They
was
throwing
bad.
babies. Like Aguilar.
I forgot about
couldn't
that.
catch anything on.
That was viral.
Skip, this is a shame. And you talk about where they keep putting him out there. That just goes to show you. This is all they have, and they gotta put him out there. Look at this, Skip. I mean, you're a receiver. You got to be able to adjust.
That was a hard kick.
No, Skip. You got to put that in your
Over
pocket.
the wrong shoulder.
What about that one right there in Atlanta? What about Atlanta?
That was a bad drop.
Okay, look at this,
give you
Skip.
that one.
That's a game winner. You see, and your retort to me, well, the Cowboys are tied for second in drops. All drops aren't created equal. Because Pro Football Focus say when they do QBR, Skip, interception at the beginning of the game is not the same, doesn't weigh the same as one at the end of the game.
That's true.
You drop a pass like Goddard did against against the Lions in the end zone that would have won the game. Whoo, that hurt. And then you got Arcega-Whiteside. Look at this. What is that? What is that?
Boy, you went heavy tape today.
Look at this.
It is research
I don't
today.
like Joe. Look at this. Hey, we were like,
defend his
look
guy.
at this, Skip. What am I supposed to do about that?
Talk about it.
You do understand the objective of a wide receiver job is to catch the ball. You can either be a receiver or you can be a retriever. Now, a receiver catches things. A retriever picks things up and brings it back. Golden retriever, Labrador retriever. You know what I'm saying, Skip? You didn't know.
Green retriever.
But, Skip, this is ridiculous. And I understand that Wentz, his accuracy, Skip, he's never going to be Drew Brees. He's never going to be Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers when it comes to accuracy. That's not what he is because he wants to push the ball down the field entirely too much. See, he don't like the small fish. Small fish, they dabble around the edge. He want big fish. They out deep. You know, you ain't gonna catch no 2,000-pound marlin fishing around the edge. You got to go way out, Skip. You know, I went marlin fishing one time. Caught one, 175, you know, little something.
Really?
Yeah. Went to the Big Island, big.
Really? I went marlin fishing one time and threw up my breakfast.
Exactly, that's what you call.
Yeah, I did. Right into the sea. Every last ounce of it.
Yeah? You
Yep.
don't like the
But
seasick sound?
Skip, look, look, the thing is they go hand in hand, and I think what has happened is that sometimes you lose confidence in your guys when they start dropping passes.
Yep.
We were playing the Raiders one year, and Jeff George was the quarterback, and Ricky Dudley had a problem with dropping passes. It was 4th down, Skip. Ricky Dudley was wide open. Jeff George looked at him, turned, incomplete. He lost confidence in him. And I think sometimes quarterbacks, and especially young quarterbacks, that, you know, sometimes you'll see him, well, he went right back to him to show you that he still has confidence in him. But Skip, after a while, drop here, drop there, drop here. And the thing is, but unlike most teams that have guys that can put other guys out there, they're so thin at the receiver position, they got no choice but to put Aguilar out there. They signed Jordan Matthews. Jordan Matthews can only play for one team, and that's it, Philly. Everywhere else he goes, Skip, he gets cut. And they just brought him back in. Though he can't play for anybody but you. Yeah, the receivers get... I mean, Carson is not walking to him is not without fault. But a lion's share, 65% of this goes to his receivers.
That's a lion's share, 65%?
65.
I think you'd say 85%.
No.
That was objective on your part. So, here's what I see in your man, walk it to him, who can be bounce it to him. Biggest picture, the Eagles' problem isn't Carson Wentz, it's Nick Foles. Because I told you before the year started, no quarterback will feel more pressure and responsibility on his shoulder pads than this kid, and he's still a kid, will feel. Because Nick Foles was godlike in that locker room. They built a shrine to him because come playoff time, I don't even know who that guy was. He was Joe Montana. And maybe the greatest run we've ever seen through the playoffs. It wasn't great against Atlanta, but again against Minnesota and then against Belichick, he was just sensational.
He was.
Nick Foles was the MVP of the Super Bowl, 41 points on Belichick's defense, and then was on another magical run last year until he had Alshon in New Orleans, and he dropped it.
Hold up. Is Alshon Jeffrey still on this current roster?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now, it's interesting you brought up Jeff George, and I don't know if our younger viewers will remember Jeff George, but
No,
there is some Jeff George in Carson Wentz. And I don't mean in head, but in arm strength. Because Jeff George could throw it through a brick wall.
He could throw it 100 yards.
Yeah, he could throw it 100 yards. Maybe, I'm not sure we've ever seen a bigger arm than his. And listen, Carson Wentz can wing it. But my issue with him from the start, and I told you this from his rookie year on, he wants to just hoof and puff and throw it right through your brick wall. Or he wants to heave it 100 yards and hope that somebody can run underneath it and create a spectacular touchdown pass.
Well, he had that.
Game one, he had that guy. He had Deshaun. He had D-Jack. In game one, D-Jack went deep twice, and he hit him for 51 and 53-yard touchdowns against, albeit, the Washington Redskins, and you say they're garbage. But whatever, he did that.
Yeah.
And Carson Wentz is much more comfortable on the deep ball than the intermediate or the short ball.
Yeah.
I don't love his feel for playing quarterback. I don't love his touch. And sometimes he throws it so hard, even his body language looks like he's throwing it hard, that I don't think he throws the most catchable mid-range pass. Now, Zach Ertz is a big, tough, athletic guy, and he seems to be able to snag just about anything Carson Wentz throws. It's like he wills his catches. He's playing with a fury out there. And yet, in this case, Carson Wentz, again, you can argue he's creating the drops in some ways because I don't think his receivers are that comfortable with the way he throws it to them. And I get you. You were right. The Aguilar drop is unconscionable and indefensible. It's a game loser or a game winner. He just flat out cold dropped it.
Yeah.
But again, if you look at our stat, everybody's got different stats, but the stats we use have the Eagles tied for 5th in drops. The Cowboys are tied for 3rd. Well, has it hurt Dak? No, he's just skyrocketing.
But what if Amari Cooper dropped a touchdown in the end zone that would have won the game?
Okay.
What if Gallup would have dropped a touchdown like Goddard dropped that touchdown against Detroit? Aguilar against the Falcons.
Yep.
Whiteside had an opportunity, and he dropped it. And then as bad as he played last week against the Patriots, and he wasn't very good. Like you said, it was a windy day. The wind was blowing, and it was cold. He put the ball in Aguilar's hand with a chance for the game-time touchdown.
He did.
Catch.
And it was a good read and a good throw because it was
zero coverage.
Zero coverage.
Yep.
There's no safety back there, and he just said, I got him solo, and I'm just going to throw it up into the wind and hope it comes down in his hands. And he threw it with touch, and it's one of the best throws he's ever made to my eye test.
Yeah, and got nothing to show for it.
Okay? He's got nothing to show for it, but there's rapport that you build because sometimes receivers get it in their head. This guy throws me sweet balls like I can just catch it. It's just like begging me to catch it. I think Amari thinks Dak throws him balls that are just begging to be caught. Amari's dropped some this year.
And something, Skip, I've been in huddles where guys have great hands, but they get crunch time, it gets fourth quarter, late in the ball game, they're looking at the quarterback like, don't throw me this ball. Throw this ball to Sharp. Throw this ball to somebody else. Don't throw it to me.
No, I agree.
And I believe Aguilar, that gets in Aguilar's head. I think it gets in some guys' head, Skip, because we've seen guys make unbelievable catches in the first quarter or when the game is meaningless. But when you need them, the routine stuff, you're like, dude, how you drop that? It just happens.
Alshon's caught a lot of balls from Carson Wentz, though. And again, the greatest security blanket in the league is Zach Ertz. He goes to him like crazy.
Right.
When in doubt, look for 86.
Right.
And I can tell you, against the Seattle defense Sunday, this is a big game for Carson Wentz. This is one of those on-the-edge games.
You say he's Hunter, right? And hunters, don't, sometimes they go pheasant and they go quail, but most of the time they go big game. Cape buffalo.
Really?
Yeah, they go get one of the big 5. I don't know. I don't recommend that. I hate that they do that, but I'm just saying most people are big game hunters. Carson Wentz is a big game hunter.
No mercy.
So Kawhi Leonard and Paul George played their first game of the season together last night, and they did not disappoint, combining for 42 points in the Clippers' 107-104 overtime win over the Celtics. Lou Williams finished with a team-high 27 points, but it was Kawhi who clinched the victory with a last-second block on Kemba Walker, and it was pretty. We're now joined by Fox Sports NBA analyst Chris Broussard. Morning, Chris.
Good morning.
Morning.
Your first impression of Kawhi and Paul George, what'd you make of it?
It was scary because at times they were sloppy. And on your first time ever playing with each other, you can beat a very good Boston Celtics team. I mean, that says that the potential for this team with these two is scary high. It's hard, and you know this, you guys know this, it's hard to fit two stars together at times. When both are used to being the man.
Especially they play the same position.
Right, in the same position, both are used to being the man, both are used to being the first option, and there's a tendency to kind of defer a little bit and make sure he's getting the ball and and stuff like that. And that's why I think each of them had 5 turnovers. Combined, they only shot 39%, so they probably weren't getting on the same spots they're used to getting to and getting the ball as much as they're used to. So Doc Rivers talked about they had 23 turnovers as a team. So it was some sloppiness going on. But as I said, to be able to beat Boston in your first time ever playing, remember when Wade and LeBron first came together, they got beat by Boston in Boston when they were in Miami. So I was impressed, but 2 things really stood out to me more than anything. Number 1 was the defense, especially in overtime. When they had the 2 stars, Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell, and Pat Beverly, they were smothering. And they held Boston to 30% shooting. Of course, Kawhi gets the block. But it looked like everything was tough for the Celtics. Every pass, every dribble was tough for the Celtics. So that was a plus. And then secondly, I was very bothered and disappointed by that last play in regulation, where they just isoed Kawhi at the top of the key. The things that had gotten them back in the game to that point was the ball moving and finding an open man.
Totally agree.
Lou Williams goes for 13 in the fourth quarter. And then after that, in overtime, it's moving, finding an open man. Patrick Beverley hits 2 threes, and he's the hero. This team with Lou Williams and the 2 stars, you got 3 bona fide scorers. And then Harold can cut and slice and finish. And Beverley obviously can catch and shoot. They should have run a play with options for any of those guys. They don't need hero ball. And even during the course of the game, that's how they should play. Kawhi and George and Lou are going to be the leading scorers, but let the ball find the open man. They don't have to go too much ISO, even though they will at times, because they have so many weapons. So Doc Rivers is better than that. I don't know if he did that or Kawhi just decided I'm going to go solo. But
I was looking. I didn't see him wave off anybody, because a lot of times they'll wave him off. No, I don't need to pick. I'm good. I don't need anything. Let me go ahead and operate. I agree with you. Defensively, they're going to probably be better than I even thought they were, because they can switch everything. Right. When they went to that lineup that they had last night, Pat Bev, Paul George, Kawhi, and Trez, you got 4 outstanding defenders. And they switch everything. So it doesn't matter if you run the wheel out top, because it doesn't matter who you end up on, because Pat Bev feels just as comfortable guarding Kemba as he does Jason Tatum, as he does Jaylen Brown or Marcus Smart. So it really doesn't matter to him. And we know what Paul George and Kawhi represent defensively. But for me, you feel comfortable? Did you see Kawhi? He spent a lot of time bent over last night. Did you see that, Skip Bayless? Because that's what happened.
He was rubbing his knee.
I ain't rubbing no knee. I saw him pulling on them shorts like this here. When his shoulders move, like he wasn't dancing. Sometimes they do that. No, he wasn't doing the Jabberwocky.
You realize that's what happens when you're chasing Kemba Walker the whole game.
Whoa. Actually, stop this. I need you to stop this. Because, Chris Broussard, if LeBron James had put a game together like this, 7 or 20, the man, and what he did in the Skip.
We'd have been wondering, is he on?
What?
I agree.
LeBron had his shot blocked, and this man came in here, Shannon, it's over. It's over for your
Mario
kid.
Hezonja?
Really? You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
That was a little premature, though, right?
I didn't say it was over. I just said he looks old.
How you looking now? Now, who looks older? Kawhi or Bron?
I'm going to save that for our next topic.
Okay.
How about this here, Chris? The guy took 3 games off, and he still knee low, man. He limping, hobbling.
Yeah.
My guy dunking on folks at 35. Dunking on them.
Can I follow that up quickly? Kawhi in November, that's 5 games. 35% from the field, 22% from threes. Now, I don't know if it's rust because you're only playing once a week or whatever it is.
Yeah, because you're not practicing.
Right, is the knee bothering you? This is just something for them to watch. Is the knee degenerate? Just watch it, because he's not still obviously playing well, but not to his normal standards. And 2 of his last 3 games have been poor.
For his first 5 games, he led the whole league in fourth quarter scoring. He just took over. He was scoring 18 points in the fourth quarter.
Now he can't get 18 in the game. Now he can't get 18.
2 of his against Toronto, he had 12 points. And then last night,
and now he can't get 18 in the game.
7 for 20. So
I tried to instruct Shannon on this. I don't think it got home.
It did.
Yeah. The key Kawhi stat is not under Clippers stats, it's under Boston stats, because Kawhi Leonard did play almost 38 minutes. And to my eye, and I can't track it exactly, and they're doing a lot of switching, but he was assigned Kemba Walker. And he took Kemba Walker completely out of the game, because Kemba Walker, who is the biggest scoring threat, I think, on the Celtics, shot 4 of 17. Couldn't even get to the free throw line. He was 2 of 3 from the free throw line, so he couldn't even get Kawhi to foul him. Kawhi's too long and too quick and too tenacious for Kemba Walker. And it went all the way to the last shot in overtime, and the clawed him. If we could see this one more time, he just clawed him.
Yep.
And Kemba's small, I get that, but small can be tough when you're as quick as Kemba is. Maybe he's not as quick as he used to be, but...
Well, he is, but he knows he got to get the shot off, or the shot clock's gonna buzz, because normally, Kemba, he'll dart you in and get you up off him, but he couldn't do that.
Nope, he couldn't do it. So I'm with Chris. Big picture, I saw a suffocating defensive team. I saw Patrick Beverley absolutely disrupt the whole Celtic offense. They were having a hard time dribbling past half court because he's just snaking the ball from everybody. And it got contagious because Lou Will made a couple of defensive plays that shocked me where he stole the ball from people. So Montrez can defend at a high level, and all of a sudden, you took the Boston Celtics out of everything they did. They missed their first 16 three-point shots, and then they were 1 for 18 from 3 at halftime. How were they they were leading at halftime 1 for 18. They were leading by 10 with 6 minutes left. They were leading by 7 with 2:30 left in the game. And yet, despite all this, somehow the home team won the game. And John Hollinger reported that Kawhi and Paul George had only been in one practice together in which they scrimmaged on opposite sides briefly, where they weren't even on the same scrimmage team in practice.
Right.
So they had not actually played a second of joint basketball, team basketball. So you got to give them some break because at least the Miami Heat that first year, at least they had training camp.
Remember,
together,
it was really publicized too. They went to
Hawaii
base or something like that.
Yeah, they did. So, and remember, they got off to a horrendous start. Didn't they fall to like...
It was like 9-8,
9-8.
Remember, they lost a Monday night game at home to Portland, and Chris Bosh had a terrible game, and it was the low point. It was like
was that the
500
bump when LeBron bumped
Smoke? Yeah, he bumped Smoke to get up off him.
Right.
But then slowly but surely they started to figure it out. But that was maybe 17 games in, right?
Right.
Okay,
Yeah,
so this was the first hurrah right here.
But they were talking about how Kawhi, you see how Kawhi's assist total is going up. He was facilitating. Is 3 assists and 5 turnovers good? Is 9 turnovers and 9 assists good? Chris, you've been covering this game a lot longer than I have. Is that good? Because my guy did 12-0. My guy did 11-2.
Who's
my
your guy? I don't know who it
don't
is.
do that, Skip. You know.
Kevin Durant?
Go.
I don't know.
James.
Oh, go.
Oh, that guy.
Turned this all into
your guy.
LeBron.
You know good well. Because Skip, Chris, if LeBron James had a night like this.
When LeBron goes sub 50% shooting, it's a story. I got to give him that. That's the truth.
Well, wait a second. LeBron did have a night like this, and it happened to be opening night against the Clippers. And LeBron scored 2 in the fourth quarter, and his new running mate shot 0.
And if I'm not mistaken, that might have been the last time we saw Kawhi play was over that night.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I think he was...
Do you agree that the Kawhi situation is something you really got to watch?
It was troubling because on offense last night, he was either saving himself or limping.
The limp you
Marcus Smart was in him, too.
Yeah!
Marcus Smart got in him.
Got up on him.
Yeah.
And then guess what?
Boston's tough.
Hey, remember, he forced that turnover at the end of the game, didn't he? Marcus Smart on him. He tried to get Marcus Smart to say, hey, he didn't even look at the referee. He pointed that way because he knew he had hit the ball and kicked it off his heel. Yeah, your guy. I wish Marcus Smart. You remember
somebody across from me seems like he's really threatened by the new guy at Staples.
Hey, Chris, you remember Marcus Smart tried to guard LeBron in them 7 games when LeBron was in Cleveland? And he had what? He had like, oh my goodness, he averaged like 38 and 10.
Did he?
Yeah.
Is that the year they won the championship? Or no, wait, they lost to Golden.
They lost. How Golden State looking now without KD? And all the
well, it's more than him.
But here's the thing. Now you see what it's like. See, when everybody have their weapons, when Clay and Steph and KD and Draymond were beating out everybody, it was like that's what they played against.
Yeah.
Teams that didn't have a whole lot of talent, just like they don't, and that's what you get. But your day coming.
Change.
Christmas Day, your day coming.
Your day already came on opening night.
No, you told me. Skip, you told me to see. Skip tells me every day. The basketball season doesn't start till Christmas. Now it started opening day. It takes a hiatus, and then it'll pick back up after the All-Star game.
They sent their statement. Their message was sent on opening night.
No.
Now they're waiting for April.
No.
The Lakers look like a new team now. You got to admit. The interesting thing is going to be, too, both of them are obviously great defensive teams. The Clippers' strength is the perimeter defense. The Lakers' strength is the length at the rim.
I agree.
And so
I do have some concern about the Clippers' interior because it's Big Zoo or bust.
Oh, Big Zoo, hey, he turned Kimba away a lot. Kimba had beat his guy, and Big Zoo was like, But he can't do that, AZ. OAD. And then we throw JaVale, and then we come with D. Howard. Oh, we loaded. Big. Them skyscraper. We go that skyscraper lineup. Can't see us.
Can't see us.
Can't see us. We go. We could do that at any time, right?
What did
we could do that, right? What if we go Kuzma, Bron, AD, JaVale, and Dwight? What they gonna do, Chris? What are they gonna do with that
Can't
skyscraper
see.
lineup?
Can't see.
That might
I like
be the
that.
oldest
Can't see.
lineup ever.
No mercy.
Tom Brady is 4-0 in his career against the Cowboys, but it's his 6 Super Bowl rings that has led many to call him the GOAT. Even former teammate and current Cowboy Michael Bennett couldn't help but heap praise on the 42-year-old QB ahead of this week's game, outlining exactly what makes him so special. Take a listen.
I think Brady's just a cool guy. I think the thing I take from Brady is just how a great leader that he is. For me personally, I think that there's a lot of people on teams where guys are like the best player and they don't spend a lot of time with each individual, but I think Brady's a very approachable player. I think he does a great job of bringing guys together and also just hanging with everybody. I think that makes the team feel really good when you grow up and you look at a guy and he has everything in the league and at the same time he's down to earth. I think that's what makes Brady one of the best leaders in the NFL.
Okay, Shannon, what does this say about Tom Brady?
That Brady is very well respected. Skip, and let me tell you what I think why this is. Brady is one of the few all-time great quarterbacks that I can think off the top of my head that came into the league that wasn't heralded. He started as a 6th-round draft pick, so what was he, Skip? He was hanging around with the bottom feeders. He was hanging around with the guys that weren't anybody. And so he the guys that are somebody, they make me feel special. So if I ever get an opportunity to get in that role, guess what I'm gonna do? That's, Skip, for me, I came as a 7th-round draft pick. So, I stayed in my place. I'm talking to everybody, just trying to get to know everybody. And as I became the player that I became, I got no problems helping younger guys because I know what it was like to be in their position when they weren't 1st or 2nd-round draft picks. And so that put Brady in a very unique perspective because he's been there where a lot of these guys are. And I've heard stories that when guys come to town, it's like, you need a car? You can take mine. You need a place to stay? You can stay with me. And I'm like, huh?
That's awesome.
I mean, that might be a bit much, for me, that, hey, if I know you, you know what I'm saying, I might give you a little, I'll give you a place to rest your head. Can't get the car now. Dude.
Not the car.
I will go rent you a car. I will do that for you.
Why can't you share your car?
No. My grandpa used to always tell my brother and I, he said, son, if you got too many drivers and not enough fixers, when things go wrong, you're going to wonder why. So if I'm the fixer, I'm going to be the driver that you mess up somebody else's car. But, Skip, this is unbelievable here. For a guy like Tom Brady, been to 9 Super Bowls, he's won 6 of those, and has everything. And people look at him, because I remember when I first got to Denver, I'm looking at John like, man, that's John Elway. I watched that joke on TV. Now I'm a teammate. Skip, the very first thing my sister said, Shannon, when you go to Denver, don't bother that man. Leave John Elway alone. You don't even got no business speaking to him. I'm like, what did you mean? What the hell you mean? I'm a team. We teammates. You know what I'm saying? Skip, because I had never been in a situation where, in high school, we all won. Yeah, obviously, as you're a better player. Obviously, you get things. But I didn't look at like, oh, he not my teammate because he's not as good a player as me, or I got to college, he's not. No. So that's how but John was like, he took me under his wing right away. I don't know what it was that made him gravitate towards me. Maybe he thought I was funny, told a bunch of jokes because I did. But
surprising.
Well, Skip, looking at Tom, but for him to be that, and this is a reoccurring theme, everybody that's in that locker room, that comes out of that locker room and goes somewhere else or comes up here, it's like, he the real deal. What you see is what you get. He's that humble. He's that outgoing. He talks to everybody. He doesn't make anybody feel like they don't belong. And John was great at that. Skip, sometimes we would have nights off in training camp, and Club Shay Shay was bouncing, the music going. We had a couple of them cold things going on. We rolling dice, playing video game cards. Guess who was right up in the room with him? Rolling dice, playing cards. 7, John Elway. That goes a long way. When the quarterback, that guy, the leader, obviously the best player, and he doesn't feel he's above you. Because he could have been like, man, I got to study. I got to do this and that. No, he right there. And for Tom to be that way, now you can see why everybody will climb the tallest of brick walls for that guy.
Before I comment on Michael Bennett, on Tom Brady, I'm going to comment on Michael Bennett, period, yesterday. There's too much peace and love coming out of my locker room this week.
Oh, my goodness, Skip Bayless.
I needed chips on shoulders, and I'm getting nothing but sweetness and light.
So you want Michael Bennett to say, I'm going to kill Tom?
No, I'm going to get even with Bill. Bill cut Michael.
Interesting.
And he had nothing but glowing things to say
Kill him
about
with kindness.
Bill Belichick.
So that's worrisome to you.
It
I hear what you're
really
saying.
disturbs
Kill him with
me.
kindness, Skip.
Listen, Michael Bennett's got edge to him.
Yeah.
And maybe he's just putting on a front for the media.
You want edge.
You know,
This joker here.
you got any issue, you know, with why were you cut in New England? He was asked. I don't know. Ask the coach. What do you think of Bill Belichick? He's a savant. He's a historian. I learned more football from Bill Belichick than I've ever learned from any coach.
Did he lie?
If I ever become a coach myself, I'm going to take away so much from my year with Bill Belichick or whatever. It wasn't even a year. It was
Yeah.
just a few 6 games,
Okay,
I believe
like
it
8
was.
months.
Yeah. I learned everything. He's all of my I'm putting words in his mouth. Like he's all my previous coaches rolled into one. I took away so much knowledge from the great Bill Belichick. You don't have any animosity. No, he said nothing in this business or nothing in the NFL is personal. It's all business. It's all business.
Yeah.
So he's just shrugging it off like,
Ain't nobody like
it's
you.
okay.
Hold personal
It's okay.
grudges and vendettas.
Okay, well, I needed a little bit of vendetta from Michael Bennett this
be
week. I
angry.
needed some, huh?
You want him to be angry ahead
Come
of this
on,
one.
Michael,
I get it.
this is it. Your chance for a little revenge.
Show
Well,
them
he-
what they're missing.
Get even with them.
Okay, what if he said what he says. He goes out there and sacks Tom Brady twice, strips him of the football. You okay?
I'd be great. Is that going to happen? Are you predicting that?
I'm just saying.
I need him to play angry. I need Zeke to play angry. I need Michael Bennett.
No.
Those are my 2 angry candidates
No,
this week.
Skip. No.
21.
Don't
and
play.
I don't even know
No.
what number. Then he wears like
79.
79. It's
You're Harvey
weird.
Martin.
It's like, what? 79?
No, Skip, no, you don't play angry. You got to take the most. You got to play
No.
calm.
You fuel it. You channel your anger, right?
That's exactly how you were, right?
Yeah.
Calm, composed.
Yeah, Skip it.
Stop it.
Yeah, I was calm. You just got to be calm.
Yeah.
The still of the water.
Okay, so Michael Bennett just got in a very long line when it comes to Tom Brady because even James Harrison, we have often on our show right here, James Harrison has as high a BS detector as anybody I've ever been around. He just lives skeptically because it's who he is and what he should be. So he admitted to us, he walked in that locker room late 2 years ago when he was acquired by Bill Belichick with his radar way up on Tom Brady. Is he a phony? Nope. James Harrison swears by him. Didn't swear at him, swears by him. Didn't swear about him, swears by him. Right?
Yep.
I worked with so many expatriates at ESPN, and not one of them had one little tiny negative thing to say. I didn't even hear a but. But he can be a little difficult. Nope, I didn't hear any difficult. I heard that he's just the best guy you've ever been around in a locker room, and they follow him. He is their leader. That's why I call him the best leader in sports, and I think he's in the discussion of greatest leader of all times. I think Ray Lewis is up there. I think you're in that discussion. But I don't think Tom Brady gets enough credit. Part of his package is this intangible of locker room leadership.
Right.
And he sets the tone. He lets Belichick get away with being Belichick. A lot of teams would have revolted a long time ago. They would have mutinied on Bill Belichick.
Well, if you can get your best player.
That's correct.
If he can become your hardest worker and he buys in, there's no choice. I mean, when guys would show up to work out and they see John running, giving it their all, what do you expect them to do?
Yeah.
He was on time. They're going to be on time. Tom Brady's not showing up late for a meeting.
Nope.
Tom Brady's not coming there BSing. I don't know how much he works out with them. He probably has his own workout that he does with Guerrero, so he's not required to lift
Nope.
at the facility with their strength and
Yet,
conditioning
when
coach.
the final horn sounds ending practice, who's going to stay out there and keep throwing to his receivers? That guy.
Right.
100%.
Win sprints.
Okay.
He's running.
He's going to run, and he's going to be in the best condition he can
Right.
be in, albeit via
Right.
Alex Guerrero.
Right.
So in the end, what I love the most about him is you see all these stories from guys who got acquired from somebody else's practice squad. So this guy's walking in the locker room as the 53rd Patriot. Up will walk Tom Brady every time and say, "Hi, Bob. I'm Tom Brady." And Bob is quoted later as saying, you don't have
He
to
came
tell me
right
who
up
you
to me.
are.
That's awesome.
I know who you are.
But that's just common because that's the way I introduce myself. Hi, I'm Shannon Sharpe. I know who you are. It doesn't matter who they are. I mean, obviously entertainers and so, but it's funny that, and they're like, I know who you are. But for Tom to do that, Skip, it seems like, he's sincere. But I still believe it goes back to him being a 6th round draft pick. him starting from the bottom, and the way those Patriots, and I don't know, I think obviously Willie McGinnis and Ty Law, all those guys were there that made him feel special. They didn't shun him. And sometimes, guys come in there that think they're all this or all that, but it's not normally 6th round, 7th round draft picks.
Yep.
It's the higher end guys. So if you think that coming in, and you're a higher tier guy, and you go to have success, you're kind of detached.
Yep.
Tom Brady has always been attached because he was a 6th round draft pick. There was no reason for him to feel special or think he was special. Now, Mr. Kraft tells the story that he walked up and Tom Brady was on the field stretching, and he says, "Hi, I'm Mr. Kraft," and he shook his hand and says, "I'm Tom Brady. I'm the best decision you've ever made." So it shows that, Skip, I got confidence in myself inwardly, but I don't need to project that outwardly.
Nope.
And that's why guys gravitated towards him, and that's why he's the leader that he is.
Okay. Now, just to be objective about this, it's ironic we're talking about this week because, in truth, we have seen nothing lately but mopey Tom Brady, and it shocked me because it's anti-leadership. It's not the way he should be.
This week has been different.
He's human. I mean, when you're not playing bad. Everybody can stats
when
can
you
say
are
all the
playing bad.
Yeah, when you play and he knows he's not playing up to the level that he should be playing at and the level that he's played at for such a long time and the standard he's set for himself. So he knows that. And because here's the thing, and he understands this. If he's on social media, playing like he's playing, like, Tom, what the hell are you on social media? What you so chippy about? Did you see your performance?
Interesting.
So
0 dark 30.
Tom
Brady.
Old James
co-opted it.
He co-opted it.
It's approachable, though.
Yep.
Quick Tom story from me. I'm doing a story about the Big House, about Michigan football. I reached out last week, and he actually got back to me with a quote about playing there and what it meant to him.
Wow.
I went through the Patriots, but I've never been so excited about something. The fact that he had the time to get back to me. I mean, that's pretty special.
It just was sent to you.
Yes, through me. I didn't call him on the phone, but the fact that he took the time, I think, to just respond. He doesn't know me. But that said something to me. It
also
meant a lot.
shows you how much he loves Michigan.
Loves Michigan, and I don't know. I'm a fan. I always have been. So sorry, Shannon.
I love how you come directly to me. She comes directly to me and asks me questions.
Well,
you reached out to Todd to me. You know what I'm saying, Skip? You know what I'm saying?
It's a good sign. I bet, it was last week, though, so mopey Tom this week. I don't know if I would have gotten a response.
True.
Either way, he wants to send a message on Sunday. Maybe we'll.
Well, you got one after they took that L because that was coming to you, so Skip, they had the week before, they had lost to Baltimore and then had to bye. So he really had a reason to be mopey.
I know.
So he got back to you, so it just goes to show you the character of this man.
No mercy.
LeBron James and the Lakers currently have the best record in the league at 12-2. And the so-called washed king has been making an early case for his 5th MVP award, averaging 25 points per game and leading the NBA with more than 11 assists per game. Those numbers have caught the eye of his former boss, Magic Johnson, who tweeted yesterday, if he continues at this pace, he will definitely be the league MVP this season. No one is playing better than him, and what's scary is his story is still being written. Powerful words from Magic there. Chris Broussard back with us. But you know what, Shannon?
Yeah, Shannon.
Since it's your guy, I'm going to start with you. What % chance do you give LeBron to win MVP?
You kill Bailey, but grandpa say, boy, when you see a man put your glass up like this here, and he put that knuckle like that right there, Skip Bayless, you listen to what I'm telling you now. I told you this day was coming. I foretold of this.
You did.
I foretold of this.
You predicted he was going to win MVP?
Was he your preseason pick?
AD.
Oh, thank you.
I foretold that LeBron was going to have an unbelievable season.
True.
Now, I said he would be Skip somewhere between 23 and 25 points. I do believe he will lead the league in assists at about double digits. I think his rebounding total will fall off considering they got JaVale, they got Dwight, they got AD. So how many rebounds? It's not like they'll be getting 65 rebounds a game. There's only so many to go around. But Skip, right now, he's the best player or the best team with the best record. Isn't that how it normally goes? Giannis Antetokounmpo, he was the best player with the team with the best record. Ta-da! James Harden. Ta-da! That's how it goes, right, Skip Bayless? So the way I'm looking at it, I said 56. I might have been off a little bit. I might reevaluate that, say 60, but I'm not going to do that just yet. Since the season doesn't start till after Christmas, I'm going to reevaluate at the first of the year. But I like what I'm seeing, Skip Bayless. He's in total control, orchestrating this thing flawlessly. You know, he's like 2 assists ahead of the next closest guy, which is Luka. Luka superstar. You know, we Skip and I talked about this. Luka gonna be my guy too. Got me another guy, 2 guys.
Really?
So when
You
LeBron,
got 2 guys who don't play defense.
Whoa. Hold on. Did you hear what LeBron said when they called that foul on him when he got the Gallinari? He said, "Hey, Mark, talk about Mark. I think it's Davis. Mark Davis.
Yeah.
I know I haven't been playing defense the last couple of years, but this is a new year. This is a new year, Mark. I'm playing D, Mark."
He got blown by Gallinari.
That was.
Gallo's got a deceptively quick.
He must.
Yeah, whatever, Skip Bayless. But I'm going to give him, Jenny says, what is the percent?
Yeah.
I'm going to say 67.32% because James Harden is averaging 40. Right. Giannis Antetokounmpo is like 31 and 14.
0.32. Thank you for putting that in there.
But right now, if the season ended, which it won't, I feel very comfortable where we are. I don't think he's slowing down. And guess what he's doing? Unlike somebody else we know, he doesn't load management. And he definitely doesn't load manage in the game like somebody else we know too. Because he was load managing in the game. So I like it. 67.23%. LeBron James wins the MVP.
You said 3-2.
3-2?
It's already dropping.
It's already down.
But it's going to be hard. But James Harden averaging 40.
All right. Look.
Well, wait a second. AD now has a what % chance of winning?
Yeah, where's he at?
14.
Really? You've swung
That
completely
low.
around to Goat James.
Go,
phony goat.
Go.
67.32.
Chris even like it. Chris even like old Goat James.
He is balling. It's funny. I made a video where I said these are the 3 things LeBron needs to do to lead them to the championship. Play point guard.
Check.
Be focused and energized defensively. Engaged. And no drama.
Check.
I feel good about that right now.
Check, Phil Bayless.
As far as MVP, here's what I'll say. LeBron right now is one of 4 leading candidates. Obviously, it's early, but one of 4 leading candidates. Giannis, Luka, not in order, and James Harden and LeBron. LeBron, this is what helps him. He's got the most romantic narrative of all of them, right? 17th season. Nobody ever in the history of basketball in their 17th season has been in arguably the best player in the world. So he's 17th season, 35 years old in December. People wrote him off, said he was no longer the best player in the world. Playing a new position and becomes the best point guard in the league. So all of that narrative is with LeBron. Here's the challenge, though. Even though he may be playing the best, the basketball arguments for the other guys, I think, could be stronger than LeBron's. And here it is. Giannis, you mentioned the numbers. 30 points, 14 assists, 6 rebounds, 59% shooting, and they're 11-3. He has no second star. LeBron obviously has AD, which historically has hurt some guys when you got a second superstar. So Giannis has no star, and his kind of star, Chris Middleton, is hurt right now.
Yeah.
Okay, James Harden, to your point. Now, I don't think you can win a championship averaging 39, but if he averages 39 points a game, and right now they're on a 64-win pace, if they win 60 plus and he averages 39, I'm sorry, I gotta vote for James Harden. I mean, it's like the triple-double thing with Westbrook. Like 39, and you winning?
But look at LeBron's number. He on pace to win 68.
But 39, nobody but Wilt Chamberlain has topped that. So, and then Luka might average a triple-double. Right now, he's 30, 10, and 9.5, right? And they're on pace to win 53. With Porzingis is like a roller coaster up and down. You know what you're getting from him. The other guys, nobody knows. This dude is taking the league by storm. So, and he's got a little narrative too. Because he's only 20.
Luka. We talk about Luka yesterday, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So I'm saying 30.
The guy who's shooting 31% from the three-point line, go ahead.
Luka?
He'll have his hot nights every
Did you see him last night?
Skip, he's the new age Larry Bird.
In a game, don't even put him in.
You did say that.
Lightning
You did say that.
He is the new age.
Stop it. I'm ashamed of you for saying that.
What are you saying?
Because that's blasphemy to put him in the same sentence with Larry Bird. All they share is color.
Well, I'm going to speaking of this color, the last guy who was arguably the best player in the world that was white was Larry Bird. This guy is going to be arguably the best player in the world.
He defends nobody. Do you remember when the Lakers played?
How much did Bird defend? He got
Kuzma quote after the game. Kuzma said after the game, we just passed the ball to whoever Luka was covering. Seriously. That's what they said.
That's okay.
Look, He's not a great defender. Neither is Harden. Bird, yeah, he got a lot of steals, but I mean, was he locking Magic? Got steals, but was he locking?
It's my turn to talk about MVP.
30%.
What do you got? What percentage?
30%.
Given the LeBron-loving, LeBron-protecting media out there, given the millions of blind witnesses who actually cover this sport, it should be like 99.9%. It's really over now. They should award it now because of the romantic narrative. Hashtag revenge season. Hashtag wash king. No. I'm going to give him a 10% chance to win it, and I'm going to tell you why. Wow. If you really look hard at what he's doing, I tell you this, every time it comes up, he's still the best passer in basketball. So passer in basketball. So if you make him your full-time point guard, he's going to have assists to the point I'm really surprised he isn't averaging more than 11 assists. If the season finished today, his 11 assists a game would rank 39th all time. So it's not like he's breaking the assist record. John Stockton in 1990 averaged 15 assists a game. Okay, it was John
12
Stockton.
of them was mailman.
Okay, all right. Well, you got 3 mailmen going here. You do. You're leading the league in dunks. You come on.
You got one mailman.
You can lob it to all 3 of them for dunks. They are all 3 in the top 10 of dunks, all 3 of the big guys. So that's like half your assists a night are on lob dunks.
Yeah, the other 2, you got 1 mailman and 2 DHLs. It might take them a while to get
Okay, so what else do we see statistically here?
What?
LeBron's averaging 25 points a game. That's the worst since his rookie season. And again, it's because he's assisting the ball, but still, you're talking about the MVP here. His 8 rebounds a game are his worst since 2016. His 49% field goal percentage is worse since 2015. He's 35% from 3.
That's pretty good. That's great.
Okay, 35?
That's great.
For him, it's pretty good, but for anybody else, it's not great.
What's Giannis shooting?
30. I don't know. I don't really care.
And what did Michael Jordan and Kobe shoot? Less than 35.
And his free throw percentage is all of 71%. It's better than last year's 67%, but it's still not MVP standard free throw shooting. 71%, it's pathetic by superstar
What's James Harden shooting from the floor? What's James Harden field goal percentage?
I don't care. I'm talking about LeBron James.
Good before
so I'm going to give you these 2. In PER, he ranks 7th. Is that MVP? But it's still, he's playing much better than I thought he would up to this point. And in defensive win shares, I'm going to give you this. He's 6th in the league.
6th!
That's very good. But we're coming off a game where all of a sudden Magic declares him on an MVP arc here.
Yeah.
And the last time I saw LeBron on the floor was against the woeful Oklahoma City Thunder in the 4th quarter. Can we just see what happened? This is a game in which he played all 12 minutes.
There you go.
Can we see this? Okay, here's his first shot in the 4th quarter. Oh, that's an air ball. LeBron. Then he dribbles right into a turnover. LeBron, don't do that. What are you just dribbling right into traffic? Watch this. LeBron, that's an air ball. It hit the bottom of the bat. It was not a foul. LeBron, that's the MVP right there. Magic, way to go. Thank you. And it's an easy layup at the other end. And then look at this, the blow by. Gallinari blows right by. This is the guy with 6th in defensive win shares. Is that the MVP for you?
Yes.
Who cut that tape?
Hold on. So what's
that was all in the 4th quarter. That was only in the 4th quarter. He played all 12 minutes. He took 9 shots. The next on his team was 6.
It had 10, 5, and 2.
It's called stat padding in the 4th quarter of a game you have in hand.
No, you don't.
Yeah, and he played 37 minutes, a game high. And here's my problem. The reason I'm giving him a 10% chance, he's playing way 2 minutes too soon. It is middle November, November 20-something. And 21st. All of a sudden, when he played the game, it was 2 nights ago. So whatever. It's too much too soon. He's trying to show everybody, I got my quick twitch athleticism back. And he does have it back. You better be careful. You're pushing the envelope here.
Well, it's going to be interesting. They got 3 games in like 4 days. They got Friday night, Saturday night, and then they play again on Monday. So if he comes through this thing with flying colors here, Skip Bayless, somebody in a heap of trouble.
They're playing 3 G League teams.
There you go. Hold on. Are these the same teams that Giannis and Harden play?
Here's the thing, though, Skip. We can look if Kawhi and load management was not a thing. We would actually be looking at LeBron saying he's only averaging 34 minutes a night. Like, it's his career low. We would think this is somewhat load management. So I just think we can't let Kawhi's strange patterns
seduce us into thinking this is okay.
This is like what LeBron is playing less, right? I mean, again, think about it. Take Kawhi out. We never even thought about load management. We would be saying this is smart. They dropping his minutes. This is the way to do it.
Chris. Still 36 minutes a game.
Well, what is it right now? 35?
35. Chris, let me ask you a question. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, this was LeBron James load managing, and his team was losing every time he doesn't play. What would be said? I can imagine Michael Jordan played 9 straight times of 82 games, one with 80 and another with 75.
Michael Jordan was a freak of nature.
And when he ain't that kind of freak. That's a super freak. That's a Rick James type freak.
he ain't real 23 freak.
Yeah, he is. He freaky.
Listen.
That's Rick James.
No mercy.
Well. Skip's Cowboys are certainly hoping Zeke gets a chance to eat against the Patriots this weekend after tallying fewer than 50 yards in back-to-back games. Elliott was asked yesterday if he was frustrated by his lack of production in the running game, and he was quick to defend himself as a team player. Take a listen.
I think if you have a problem keeping your spirits up, when we win a football game, that game we played last Sunday, you win a football game, you're excited, you're happy. I mean, all the other stuff will handle itself. I always said accolades, all the other stuff, it's not important. What's important is winning football games, and you win football games, it'll handle itself. That's what a good teammate does. I kind of feel you guys make me feel awkward. Like I'm supposed to be pissed because I have 40 yards and we won a football game. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't really want to get into it anymore.
Fox Sports NFL analyst Mark Schlereth with us. It was almost like an awkward giggle there. Mark, good to have you.
Yes.
So, should the Cowboys be concerned with Zeke's recent numbers?
No. Why? Because, I mean, one thing produces another thing. I mean, Zeke Elliott is the one guy that you've got to take out of this offense. Anybody who lines up that's a defensive coordinator will look at the Dallas Cowboys and say, 21 is our number one priority. Stopping 21 is our number one priority because he will bludgeon us, he will pick up blitzes, and he will catch the ball in the backfield. So that's the guy that we have to shut down. You look at the production of the passing game, you look at what Dak Prescott has done so far this season, a lot of that can be pointed right toward what 21 does. I mean, this is a football team. You look at the top 5 or 6 teams in the league. Top 5 or 6 teams in the league, in regards to wins, you know what all of them have in common? They're the number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 rushing teams in football as far as percentage of opportunities to run the ball. And the bottom 5 or 6 teams are all the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams as far as throwing the football is concerned. He takes so much pressure off the rest of this offense. He is such a good player and such a complete player at the back that, no, I'm not worried about his production at all. He'll have one of those 150-yard breakout games here coming down the stretch. And
well, that'll be his first this year.
Well, has he not? How many 100-yard games has he had? Has he had 5? Has he had 5?
He's 8th in the league in rushing now. He has dominated this league for 3 years in rushing. He's now 8th.
Stink. Can you explain to Skip? When TD getting to get 100 yards.
Okay, this is not TD.
No, but I'm saying.
Terrell Davis.
Terrell Davis.
Yeah.
But the thing was, Stink them got upset that they allowed the defense and the defensive line and the line with the front 7 to take TD away because they knew once they got him to the line of scrimmage, it was Ed and Rod's job to knock people off him down the field. But if TD wasn't getting to the line of scrimmage, they didn't do their job. But if we won the game, TD wasn't out there, man, they need to give me my touches. Because if I don't get my touches, I can't. No. We don't have that. You're trying to win. And see what you're trying to do, Skip, but you're trying to, I want my guy. No. You want to win. Because I can assure you, when Dak was throwing for them 100 early in his career, I'm not saying he did it this year, but early in his career when he had those 190 yards and those 205s and they were winning, he's winning. I was like, whoa. But I was like, no, they're winning. That's all that's important.
They're 6-4. That's how much they're winning. They're barely above 500.
So you telling me a guy that leads the league in QBR, yards per attempt, and passing yards, got a 6-4 record, and that's Zeke's fault? I'm confused.
They are 2nd in the league in handing the ball to their running back on first down. 2nd in the league. He is averaging the 24th best first down runs, 24th best average on first down. Every first down, I just fall off my chair. They hand it to him for 1 yard. They hand it to him for no yards.
That's Kellen Moore.
And the game at against Minnesota on Sunday night came down to 3 straight plays in which I'm pretty sure Jason Garrett said, 2nd and 2 at the 11, give it to Zeke. 0. 3rd and 2 at the 11, give it to Zeke, -3. 4th and 2, throw it to Zeke in the flat. Nowhere, covered, snuffed, over, game over. I've seen enough of it. He is not the same back he used to be, and I miss the Zeke who ran angry and who spoke angry. I don't even know that guy we just saw because I needed a little bit of anger this week. Like, I haven't been myself, and I'm going to show you at New England the real Zeke.
Okay, what if he shows you? What if he shows you the real Zeke at New England and they lose? What have he shown you?
Well, if we see the real Zeke up there, they can win this game.
No, they can't. But I'm saying, let's just say for the argument, he showed you the Zeke that you've seen the last 3 years.
Well, I'll come in here on Monday and say, boy, that was the real Zeke. That was the guy from last year.
No, I want you to no. That's what you said. You said you want to see the real Zeke. He's going to show you the real Zeke, and you lose. What have you accomplished? Well, Do you want wins or you want the real Zeke?
Okay, I've seen the real Dak every game this year.
Oh, you saw?
How much does the real Dak have to do with Zeke taking the lion's share of the work? I would tell you this:
those defensive coordinators are smart. Okay. They see what I see, which is you don't see much from 21 anymore.
Well, what I'm telling you is, it seems to me that your real problem is with the coaching and the play calling.
Kellen Moore.
That's what your real problem is with. Not so, because if you're saying, hey, every time we face first down,
we hand it,
and there's a tendency that we're going to hand it to 21, do you think the defensive coordinators in this league don't know that tendency?
Guess who leads the league in passing yards on 2nd down? My quarterback, because he's having to dig out of holes that are dug by 21 going nowhere.
21 doesn't call the plays, Skip.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, I've seen enough of that, and I wanted to see a hint of anger. He used to speak angrily after games when he didn't play well or the next week, where I wanted him to say, I've had enough of this. And that's no shot at Dak. It's just about him.
But you know what I like, Skip? I love how you said in Minnesota, when they gave the ball, they gave it to Zeke twice, and they threw it to him 3 times. You blamed Jason Garrett, said he overruled the play calling. Okay. Well, have some of that same conviction about the play calls being called on first down when all they do is hand it to Zeke.
All right. But a lot of that is dictated by pre-week, like during the week strategy. You just go in saying, first down, we're going to establish the run. They're doing what you said, what you guys used to do with TD. Every first down, you want 5 yards. You want 6 yards. You want to play ahead of the chains instead of behind them. They ran it on first down 11 times at Detroit on Sunday, and it put them in hole after hole where the quarterback's got to dig you out with some unbelievable throw. He threw for 444, and without it, they would have lost to Detroit.
We did throw the ball on first down, so 2 did we think?
Yeah, well, absolutely. I would just tell you this, it's not just Zeke. I mean, are your receivers blocking? Is your quarterback holding the backside so that you can gain a blocker on the front side? Is your scheme? Are you falling into the same thing? So one of the things that you see with the teams that can really run it, you see a ton of motion. There's no stagnant formations. Ton of motion, ton of different looks.
49ers
and variety within the running game. If you're just saying, hey, we're going to line up and run lead ISO, right? Lead ISO. I mean, you've got to. I always look at it from the standpoint of the way you call plays, and I'll take it to protection. If you give up 6 or 7 sacks in a game, your offensive coaching staff stinks. We'll all blame the offensive line, but your staff stinks because you have to understand how to protect the quarterback, and you've got to understand where your weaknesses and your problems are. And if you as a coaching staff don't understand your problems, well, you know what happens? You hand it to Zeke 11 times on first down, and he gets no yards. They don't understand the problems. That's a coaching staff issue. That's not a Zeke issue.
And who makes Zeke better running the ball? When the quarterback is allowed to run the ball. Through 10 games last year, Dak had 53 runs called for him, or some were scrambles, but a lot of them were called runs or option runs with the zone read where you could keep it. Sometimes you call that play that you're going to keep it, or a quarterback draw. I don't see any quarterback draws. This year he's run 33 times to 53 through 10 games last year. So they're going all Zeke all the time, and it's getting them nowhere fast. And again, I'm just eye testing. This guy doesn't run. He doesn't attack the defense the way he did last year, the year before. And it's starting to make me fear he got $50 million guaranteed dollars, and all of a sudden he's more content than he used to be. That guy we just saw, That's a content Zeke. Like, what me worry? I don't really care.
But what if he just complained about, I need my carries. They winning, but I need my carries. I need my touches. I need to get me.
He did that once upon a time when he was at Ohio State. Remember, they lost a home game, I think, to Michigan State, and he complained after the game they didn't give me the ball enough.
Right.
And then through his interview pre-draft process, he said, well, I was out of
And he caught flack for that, right?
Heard a little bit since
Okay.
then.
Yeah.
So you want him to catch flack?
Okay.
For not being a
This
team
isn't
player?
about carries. This is about what happens when you are handed the ball. I'm not seeing the same attack mode.
Are you seeing Tyron Smith and Zach Martin and Travis Frederick blow people off the ball like they once did?
No, except against the Giants. That was the only night where even Zeke said after the game, biggest holes I've had, including my days in Pop Warner. Okay? So,
what's he going to do Sunday?
guess what? New England, according to Pro Football Focus, has the 29th best run defense. Last two games, they have been gashed with the run. So if there's ever a game to snap out of this and have a 150-yard day, it is this day.
Well, so you want Zeke to have 150 and Dak to have 500 passing, huh?
No, I'll take the 150 because that would set the tone. You could win a lower-scoring game.
Is Zeke's jersey still in your trash?
Yep.
Okay, he's going to have to play well for you to get it out at this point. That's what I've been worried about all week.
Clean trash,
he
though.
Threw it away.
No, he did not.
He needs to wait and see if he eats, and if that's the case, then maybe it'll come back. I've been worried about it.
Leave it in there.
No mercy.
Dak Prescott is having a career year and is now gaining some dark horse MVP consideration around the country. Even Bill Belichick is taking notice of the Cowboys QB, telling reporters that Prescott has looked, quote, super impressive this season while praising his accuracy, poise, and running ability. So, Shannon, are you buying this as genuine praise from Belichick, or is this coach speak?
Skip, you know Coach Belichick is never going to give anybody bulletin board material. You know he's not going to do what Dougie P did. Say anything negative about a player, which Dougie P didn't do, but guarantee a victory. I'm sure, look, he's going to say everything he needs to say publicly. But I can assure you, behind closed doors, he's telling his team, these guys can be had. Their quarterback is not nearly that good. You see this right here? This is what we're going to take advantage of. You know this is coach speak. You've been around far too many. Now, you mentioned that Jimmy Johnson situation where he called a radio station and said, we're going to win the ball game.
Oh, yeah.
Where he wrote a check his team had to cash. That's not Coach Belichick's personality. That's not his mantra.
That was the NFC Championship.
Exactly. So Coach Belichick will never do that. This is Coach speak. Coach Belichick is always, everybody. Oh, they got a good kicking game. They got the best punter. The punter is better than Ray Guy. They got a great field goal kicker. He's better than Adam Vinatieri has ever been. Everybody's good. I mean, everybody's great. But behind closed doors, he's telling his team, we're going to kick their you-know-what.
I heard and saw something very different from Bill Belichick yesterday. I heard him gush about Dak Prescott. And, again, we've seen what Wink Martindale will do from week to week when he's playing a opposing quarterback.
Yeah.
And that all of a sudden Patrick Mahomes will be better than Elway and Brett Favre combined, right? And he's trying to set him up for the kill. But this didn't come off that way to me from Bill Belichick because a lot of times he'll be asked about a rival quarterback, running back, and he'll say he's a good player. And then usually he just leaves it at that. He's a good player. This went into great detail about how good he thinks this young quarterback is.
That's what makes it so much believable. When you say things like accuracy and improved presence in the pocket, that's what makes it.
He didn't use the word improve.
He said accurate. What did he say? He didn't say nothing about accuracy?
He said, I mean, this guy can throw the ball.
Oh, really? He's a quarterback.
Very accurate. Bill Belichick's not going to go over the top with it unless he really sees and believes that. He's got great poise in the pocket, stands in there, because he does. He stands strong. He takes a lot of shots. Extends plays if he has to, but only when he really needs to. Great patience. This is detail from Bill Belichick. Great patience. Poise and discipline in the pocket. Eyes downfield.
Yeah.
Very good intermediate or deep ball thrower. Wow. You ever heard that? And then he goes on and on. He says, just a great, great young quarterback. Sideline throws, inside throws, in cuts, posts, over routes, flag routes, you name it.
Why has he got to go in such great detail? He never went into detail like that with Peyton Manning. You see what I'm saying, Jenny? See, that's the thing, Skip.
I'm not even finished. Possession passes, Belichick. Possession passes on third down. Best third down team in the league.
They are.
They are. Best passing team in the league. They are.
Not.
Most big plays in the league. This is Bill Belichick on Dak Prescott. Where do you want to start? Is his concluding line. Like, they do it all. Okay?
Skip. I could have went to the stat sheet and found all that information. Oh, Dak QBR, Dak passing yards, Dak third downs, yada yada yada. Come on, Skip.
Yada yada yada.
He said,
wow.
He said all that publicly. So let me ask you a question. When he closes that door and he's in the meeting room with his defense, what is he saying? Is he saying all of that? Is he heaping that kind of praise on Dak? It's a simple question.
Yes. He's saying we have to lock this down because we're going to have issues if we don't do this, that. That's why I think Stephon Gilmore, he needs him to take Amari and try to take Amari out of the game or they're going to have problems.
Let me tell you what happened. We played a game called the Super Bowl, and the NFC had beaten the AFC, if I'm not mistaken, 13 straight times in that game. And the Green Bay Packers was coming back in. They had just won the previous Super Bowl. They beat the New England Patriots in the Superdome, where they got us in Super Bowl 32 in San Diego. And Mike Shanahan went up there and said, Brett Favre, he was an MVP. The third time, the consecutive time, he had won that award, tied with Barry Sanders. This guy can make all the throws. He's an all-time great, might be the best quarterback that we've seen. You know what he said we got behind closed doors? He's a turnover machine, and we're going to kick their ass because he's going to turn the ball over. That's what he's saying.
You think he's saying Dak Prescott is a turnover machine and we're going to kick his ass?
I'm saying what he said to his team compared to what he told the reporters is entirely different. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
What is interesting that he's breaking down a quarterback that you just break down every Monday. You give him Fs.
Skip.
Recently, you've been giving him
I've been getting him good grade. I gave him an A++, but you don't want to mention that.
One off a Detroit game in which he should have gotten a B.
It was almost too generous.
Yeah.
We saw through it.
Oh, so now you feel I'm being disingenuous, but the most disingenuous guy ever, believe what he said.
By the way, bottom line, I think Belichick was between the lines expressing a little regret because in that 2016 draft, he took Jacoby Brissett in the third round, 44 picks ahead of Dak Prescott in the fourth round. Would he not like to have Dak Prescott?
Hold on. Would Dak Prescott be playing now? So you saying that so you mean to tell me he had another opportunity to get off Tom Brady? You want that? Because you got mad at him when he tried to get rid of him for Jimmy G?
I hadn't thought of it that way.
Dak Prescott's going to be better than, or is better than Jimmy G.
All I know is one guy got his team at #1 seed. Huh? Is that your guy?
You mean the Jimmy G who threw 2 red zone picks?
And threw for 424?
Interesting.
And won it back?
Against Arizona?
Your guy got the same record as Jacoby Brissett. Your guy got the same record as Jacoby Brissett.
No mercy.
The Texans do host the Colts tonight on Thursday Night Football in a battle for first place in the AFC South. Deshaun Watson is trying to bounce back from one of the worst games of his career against the Ravens, while Jacoby Brissett looks to continue his impressive season, stepping in for Andrew Luck. So, Shannon, who you got? Who wins tonight, Colts or Texans?
I'm going to take the Texans. The Colts are banged up, Skip. No Marlon Mack, no Paris Campbell. T.Y. Hilton is questionable. He did go through the walkthrough, but we'll see how that with that calf. And so I'm rolling with D. Hopkins. I'm rolling with Deshaun Watson and D-Hop because I believe he'll bounce back. He's much better, way better, 1,000 times better than what he showed last week against the Baltimore Ravens, and I expect them to bounce back. Short week with no weapons. They're going to be limited. They don't have J.J. Watt, but they're still a pretty good team. I'm taking the Texans.
You know, I hope you're right because I root for Deshaun. He was disaster last
he was
week.
bad.
And so you would think at home he would make enough plays to beat a really game Indy team because this team's pretty good. I know they're banged up, but that Jonathan Williams out of Arkansas, he had 116 last week against the Jaguars. And remember, this is the team that went to Kansas City on that Sunday night when you gave them no shot, and with Jacoby Brissett, they outplayed my homeboy.
With that offensive line, Skip, that's the best offensive line in football.
It is.
They can, don't matter who you put back there, they put a lot of #1 picks on that offensive line to protect the quarterback and to be able to run the football. But I just think at some point in time, Skip, you got to have weapons. And I think they're going to be undermanned this game.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just going to go with the flyer. I'm going to go with Indy. There's
You taking
something
it?
about them on a big stage.
You going against your guy, Deshaun.
I want him to win, but I'm telling you what my head says.
You heard it here first. That is it for us.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports, one of one.